he's one of my favorite, and I really can't hide it. Chief Moment is here. We're talking Wogbe Jeke, but we're also talking about his recent rants, you can call it. Ghana at 60 committee. How much do they owe him, and what was the agreement? All of that when he joins us. Stay with us. You're watching the M Show. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mavi.
It's always good to see you.
Yes, I'm always excited to be here, join you. And yeah, Wogbe Jeke is today.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's coming on.
But Charlie, what's happening with you? Because you've been, I call it, you've been ranting on Facebook.
Oh, it's just two posts.
Ghana, but it's very detailed. Ghana at 60.
Oh, the detailed one is
planning committee.
Yeah.
They owe you some money.
Yeah, I think that I think my frustration level got to a point where I just felt that I had to put it out there. You know, we put together our Wogbe Jeke performance during the 60th anniversary, where part of the activities to mark the anniversary. And we received half of our payment before the show. We're supposed to receive half of the payment on the day on the show. It didn't come, and it still hasn't come. Today is exactly 4 months, because we did it on the 3rd of March, and today is the 3rd of July. And I think
was there a written agreement?
No, there wasn't a written agreement. All I had sent to them was an invoice and a receipt of the first tranche of payment. I don't think anyone who did anything had a written agreement with the committee in terms of all the activities that marked Ghana's 60th anniversary. I stand to be corrected.
But you sent them an invoice?
Yes. I mean, there was an understanding. I mean, I didn't impose myself. It's not like I went to put myself on the program. They advertised that Wogbe Jeke was part of the program. It was in the news, it was on TV, it was on radio. So certainly
were you approached in the first place? Or
yes, the show was recommended to them by some senior official who had seen it and felt that if we're celebrating our 60th anniversary, then a production that tells the story of Ghana, the entire story of Ghana, from ancient to modern times, was an appropriate fit. And he even recommended a lot of things for them. By the end of the day, at least we got to do that one show at the conference. It was a by invitation only program. We did our own private event, but this one we did for the state was just by invitation. So they sent out invitations to a lot of people. So since then, I mean, we've been trying to get the payment. I mean, the channels of communications have been terrible. As I sit here now, I don't even know if they believe they owe us and if we're going to get the rest of our balance. But for me, what it did for me is that it really affected what we're doing, you know. In general, and I put in the social media post, I just put everything out there, my frustration. We took a loan in January to start a school business. The loan we used to rent to the facility. So now what was left is to invest in getting our furniture, our teaching materials, and invest in advertising. And we're supposed to do that in March. So we had just planned that immediately after our Wogbe Jeke shows in March, which was just around the 5th of March, we could do that. But after the show, because the money didn't come, all the money that we had, I had to use it to go and pay off people's debt because people were always on my necks. So we didn't have any funds available to invest in the school. So, and we're also still trying to chase the money from the committee. So even our concentration was not there. Now, guess what? 4 months later, the loan matured and we had to pay it off. Meanwhile, we hadn't worked with the facility that, you know, that we had used the loan to rent for. So I had to pay back a loan that I took to run a business that I never did. So it compounded our financial situation. In April, when we had the Easter weekend, we were supposed to stage Wogbe Jeke. 2 days to the show, we cancelled because we didn't have any funds. So this July, the same situation that we faced in April was the same situation we had in July. We didn't really have the funds because all our funds had gone into paying our debts, waiting for this money to come in. So I actually sent the committee members a very...
Who on the committee were you dealing with?
So the chairman of the committee, Mr. Kenamankwa, Lord Komi is the head of the events committee. Then there are several others. So I sent messages that, look, this will happen in April. If I don't get funds, July, I would have to cancel. And I can't afford to do so. I didn't get any response. So I actually went
Communication via what?
Text messages.
Okay.
But I went there personally, tried to see some of them. I ended up seeing Lord Komi when he was walking out of his office. So he told me that, well, they owe a lot of people, that I'm not the only one they owe, and that they are waiting for funds. So my conversation with him did not demonstrate any assurance that this is when we're going to be paid. So it was like, yeah, you're not the only one.
Yeah, but you're not the only one.
So once we get...
So chill.
Yeah, so once we get... And I was like, I can't chill. I have a show in 2 days. I can't afford to cancel again. So for me, my frustration level was that I felt that people were not empathizing, or those responsible were not empathizing with the situation, because I was really in a crisis situation, and you can't afford to cancel a show twice. It will affect your credibility. So Friday evening, when I hadn't heard anything, I said, okay, I have to put it out there. So if I have to call off a show last minute, at least my cast and crew will understand. At least the general public will understand the constraints. So I put it out there. I said, okay, this is what we need. I mean, we just needed even money to do basic things, to rent the theater, to pay for our lights, our sound, to even refresh our cast and crew. But, I mean, surprisingly, since there hasn't been any official communication from the committee. All that I've heard is, I'm told, some people have talked to the chairman, who is dismissing our plight, saying that we should produce a contract that shows that they owe us.
Oh, wow.
Yes. But you know, that's the funny thing, right? Is it our responsibility to produce a contract? I mean, if you got people, I didn't impose myself on the.
But do you have a copy of this invoice?
Oh, that I do. I mean, if we are called to any inquiry and I have to make that available, I would. So that's what he's saying.
May I ask how much they owe you exactly?
Yeah, I haven't put that on air yet, and so I wouldn't want to do that. But it's exactly half of the amount, and it's quite a significant amount. What I can tell you is how much it costs to produce a show. The basic cost when I produce Wogbe Jeke, for example, a performance, it will cost me not less than 150,000, because I'm dealing with a cast and crew of 170 people. You have to pay them, you have to remunerate, you have to refresh them, you have to take care of your technical costs, your light, your sound, your stage, your rehearsals, your costume, your props. It is a huge financial investment.
But when you send the invoice, was it received? You know, usually the person who receives will put a stamp on it or something, and then you would have a copy of that?
Yes, I don't think it is in doubt that, I mean, they have to give me money. I mean, unless they come out to challenge that they don't owe me, then, I mean, probably we'll escalate it to the next level. I don't know the kind of internal communication that is going on within the committee. I feel that probably the chairman is on a different tangent, other members of the committee is on a different tangent. All I know is that a significant amount of money is owed us, and all I know is that I made what we're taking for this work by Jeke, we did for the state, we made emphatic. I was very, very emphatic on that, and the invoice that we sent reflected that amount. And various interactions that I've had with some members of the committee indicated that this is what we're giving you, and this is what we'll give you after. And what I know as of now is that we haven't received it after, but I don't know what conversations is going on within the committee. That's why I said, I mean, communication, because I've been doing this for the past 4 months. I mean, Mama B, I was just so frustrated. When I started Heritage Theatre Series in 2015, one of the things that I really didn't do, and I really didn't ever want to do, was to engage government in any project. Because I know that, I mean, to be frank, our governments are always in crisis. They're taking care of health, infrastructure, people are talking about salaries here. So, I mean, I understand those situations, and I feel that as an entrepreneur, it's my responsibility to build a brand, make it globally successful and all that. So I never went to the ministry, Ghana Tourism Authority, even though people have always said, hey, Charlie, this is your project, Charlie, it's about selling Ghana's history and our culture. This is something the state must support. This is something that should help you to take across. But I've always been a bit skeptical in engaging it, because I understand the huge responsibilities on their shoulders. But at least when we launched in 2015, we said we're working towards Ghana's 60th anniversary. So in our minds, this was a time that Wogbe Jeke would have become big. We'll take it on tour within the country and out of the country. So when that opportunity came to at least engage with the committee on that level, I felt it was going to be a very productive relationship. It has turned out to be my most challenging moment ever in terms of when I started. I mean, I've accrued a lot of debt when I started Wogbe Jeke. In 2015, we had a deficit of 80,000 Ghana cedis after we finished the show, because we spent over 300,000 cedis in organizing the 2 shows we did in July and in August. Let me just give you a simple example. If I have a cast and crew of 150 people, and I'm even paying people an average of 500 cedis, that's 75,000 cedis without even saying anything. That's just 75,000 cedis. Your light, your sound, your stage, your props, all that will cost you about 30 to 40,000.
But you know, a prominent member of that committee is also one of the chief of, is a deputy chief of staff. Yeah. Have you tried to reach out to him?
I mean, I've reached out to a lot of people. People have tried on my behalf to reach out to a lot of people. And I'm going to issue a detail, because also there are a lot of reflections that I've had in engaging this process in terms of implications on even our governance and how probably public officials ought to conduct themselves, especially on the heels of the kind of professionalism that the president wants to instill in our public service. And to be frank with you, I got really very sad at some point, because I had and I put it out there on Friday, an experience with the chairman of the committee I felt was unbecoming. 2 months ago when I went to see him, he was patronizing and condescending, and he was extremely dismissive of us. And and I don't want to put everything out there because I'm going to write a full report. And I felt that this is not the way to go, even if we're in the wrong, even if, you know, we didn't have a claim, but that was not the way to deal with us or to talk to us. And I've sent out several impassioned pleas. Now, I know, for example, if you are the Deputy Chief of Staff, you have a lot of responsibilities. It's a new government, so there are a lot of challenges you're dealing with. There are a lot of pressure on your side, but sometimes I feel that it is in the little things, really. If I mean, Chief, I'm not a big deal. I mean, my problem is not priority, but sometimes you can tell, I mean, how something is going to go just by the little things that you do. Yeah. I'm sure if they had engaged me, even up till now, I have not had any official.
Even after the post that you put out on Facebook?
After everyone has talked so much.
Because a lot of people have reacted to the posts as well.
At least someone should call me, oh, Chief, what's your situation? Come and let's talk. This. Maybe I give it that I put it out on Friday. So maybe Saturday, Sunday is not enough time.
And then today's a holiday.
Maybe, yeah, they are talking within themselves and maybe in the course of the day. But at least I was a bit disappointed. I mean.
Have you, because I know one of the offices that's really responsive is the Vice President's office. Have you thought about writing something to the Vice President so he looks into it for you?
People have been asking me to write to the President. And I'm sitting out thinking, come on.
But if you really need this money, which you really do.
The structure, I mean, it shouldn't take the Vice President. It shouldn't take the President to address something as little as this, I feel. So a lot of people on social media have said they'll talk to the Vice President, some aide. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have sent because they said they're going to talk to the aide. I mean, a lot of people came when I put in that they're going to talk. So I'm sure people have talked to people.
But there are a lot of people who also criticize you. Somebody, I read one of such, for instance, that says, okay, so without this money, are you saying that you can't put up a play?
Well, we're putting up the play, aren't we? And let me just say, I mean, I'm not someone, if you look at my social media pages, I hardly talk about anything because I like to just keep in my corner and do what I want to do. But I felt I got to a point, I was just so frustrated. You wouldn't understand. Because maybe because I haven't dealt with government. I think I felt it
from reading it.
I haven't dealt with government bureaucracy or state bureaucracy before. And so probably this was a baptism of fire. But I just felt, because I felt that even if you don't have the funds, talk to me, like something.
So for all the months, because you were, this half was supposed to have been paid on the day that you staged.
And I promised people, you know, because since we started with Jeke, I've always been talking to my cast and crew. Yes, we don't have enough money. I still owe people, some of my directors at least, but in terms of the cast and crew, we pay them. But the directors who started with me, some of them I still even owe since 2015. So for me, I kept telling them, oh, now we're going to do a Ghana assisted performance. So my promise to them was that this time there's no delay in payment, you know, because we had gone through all that for 2 years. Sometimes you do a show, there's no money to pay. I have to wait for several months before I can organize money again and pay them. Because what happens is that I never organized with Jeke within the budgets that, you know, Keysop gives us. Thanks to Keysop, the first year, without knowing, without having done a big production, he gave us 100,000 cedis. Our budget though was 250,000 cedis. I could have decided to do a Jeke within 100,000 cedis, but I felt that this is not the feel I want to communicate. So we did a project that cost us over 200,000 Ghana cedis. But then I had to find the money at that point. So when this project came, I told them this one they were not going to owe anybody. We're going to pay you at least a bit above everything that we pay you. So when that happened, and I couldn't pay them, then it was like I was reneging on my word, and I really felt sad and frustrated. I didn't want to.
But did you overcharge because it was a government kind of deal?
Absolutely not. If the real value of Wogbe Jeke, if we're actually going to charge for anyone to come and say we should put up Wogbe Jeke for, it would be 300,000 Ghana cedis.
But this was less.
Which was less, significantly less.
But irrespective, I mean, you managed to pull it through.
Yeah.
So Where did you get the funding from? It was within just a short while.
Yeah, it just I mean, what we needed was just basic funds, just to take care of our theater, our light sound. So my friends from Wogbe decided to contribute something small, just to
Kwame John and Co. So is that a loan? Is that a loan to be paid back?
Oh, I've assured them that I'll pay back. I've assured them.
How much is that, by the way?
Oh, we needed about 30,000 cedis to put things in place, you know.
So that's how much they managed to raise.
Yeah, I'm close to that.
Okay.
Close to that. And I'm thankful. Other than that, we couldn't have done the show. So Kwame Dandem, Francis Doku, Pua, Andre, you know, it's a group, Giovanni, Pacino, all of them. So I'm thankful to Butterberg for at least coming in this last minute to make the funds available.
So the play is on today?
Yes, today. I mean, and let me just say that for those in Accra, this might just be the last opportunity for them to see what we have done so far. This play, we are putting together all the productions we've produced since 2015. So it's a 2.5-hour performance that tells the entire history of Ghana. So this is the last time we probably show it in Accra. We want to really take it out of Accra. So 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. we are encouraging everyone. It's actually a family play. So friends, the families to come out in their numbers. Trust me, they are going to really enjoy it.
Ticket costs how much?
60 Ghana cedis for regular, you know, and 30 Ghana cedis if you are coming with children.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and they'll be available at the gate if you want to buy some to Elia, Osokwala, Airport Shell, and Bachona Total.
Okay. Listen, we wish you well.
Thank you very much.
And I'll stand here every morning when we're opening the show to remind the Ghana 60 committee to pay you.
I'm persona non grata,
to pay you,
know,
but take,
I guess. But as I said, tomorrow Wednesday, I'm going to release a full detail of the activities and everything, as well as my personal reflections, hoping that it can probably inspire someone to act differently in public office.
All right, send me a copy. I'd love to read, but I wish you well.
Thank you very much,
2 p.m., 2 and 7.
7 p.m.
And 7 today. A ticket will cost you only 60 Ghana cedis. That's a regular ticket. And if you're coming with children, they're kind. It's 30 cedis. So make sure you have no excuse to keep your family home. Take them out. It's a holiday. Thank you, Chief Moment, for sharing. Thanks a lot. Now, calling friends and family abroad isn't what it used to be today, thanks to Airtel's lowest international call rate. You can talk to those who matter to you abroad like they were just next door. So make that important call to close the deal with willing partners anywhere in the country. There's so much to say, so much to share with business partners, family and friends across the world. So for longer and clear conversation, just pick up your phone and make that call, or dial *151# to buy an IDD bundle to talk for even less. Airtel, the smartphone network.